Just a very, very quick one here. It's not going to be much on the production or anything like that. But I'm about to put a shower tray in. In fact, I'm going to flip the camera around, but I just thought it might be something interesting for you to see and see how we do it. Okay, this is the area the shower tray is going into. In fact, I'll probably get a bit more light on the subject. There we go. We've got 25mm ply here. And I've already put, the waste is already in situ, so that's run under there. So that will pull nicely into the tray because it has to be secured from the top. But at the moment this is untreated, so I'm actually going to put some of this on, which is a primer. It's a bonding agent. I'm going to cover this whole area in that now. Just poured some on. Use a bit of cloth, old cloth, not anything you want to keep because it's going to dye it. Be very careful not to get it on your tiles and the surrounding area. It's just a little bonding agent, just creates a little bonding coat and gives the adhesive something to stick to. Now some people, in fact a lot of people will use cement to put a tray down. I don't. If you're going to use cement, make sure you use a plasticizer, because otherwise it's just going to pop up from the board here. The best thing you can use, well I think so anyway, it's actually tile adhesive, because that's what I'm going to do here on this area. Once I put all this in, I'm actually going to put tile adhesive down on here, and that's going to help me level up the tray. And because I've got this bonding agent down now, it's going to stick the tray down into a really, really nice position, and a position that I want. I can't tell you the amount of times that I've actually I've gone to rip out bathrooms and I've pulled up a tray, this bathroom included, and the tray hasn't even been stuck down to the floor in any way, shape or form. Okay, here's my adhesive in the bucket here. I've already checked the level here, and I know I'm not going to need an awful lot of it. It needs to be slightly higher at the back there to make the tray level. What I'm going to do is I'm going to spread it all around here, but when the tray drops on, it's going to start squidging. Some is just going to naturally fall down there. Now this is obviously your trap. You want that to stay clean. You're going to need that later, so just cover it up. You can pull that out at a later date when you're finished, but it's just going to stop it. Stop any of the adhesive falling in, drying and hurting, and sort of compromising the seal that you're going to have between the trap and the shower tray, which is just there. There we go, just to give you a better overview of what we're looking at here. Okay, time to spread the muck on. Now, having checked the underside of the tray, I can tell you now I don't need an awful lot of adhesive. A lot of the bottom of the tray is flat, believe it or not all of them are. And I think this tray is from Ideal Standard, which is a company over here in the UK. But as I say, I know I need more on this back side there. But obviously it's quite a weighty tray. I'm not a fan of these lightweight styrofoam trays, which seem to be all the rage at the moment. They're very light and you can get them in situ quite easily. But you want the weight of the tray to help. You want gravity to be able to do its work, and you want something a little bit sturdy. At the end of the day, you're going to be stood in there showering and putting quite a lot of strain on the tray. So actually a lightweight tray pretty much defeats the object, in my opinion. Get a nice cast tray. My particular favourite says a tray called Myra Flight, which I really do like. They're excellent. But it's the first time I've used one of these Ideal Standard trays, and I quite like it. I can tell it's a decent quality. Don't worry too much if there are little bits here and there, because what's going to happen is when that tray goes in, it's going to squidge all of those bits up. As I say, it's really quite a weight, that tray, and it's going to help you get the tray in exactly the position you want to. I'm just going to try and put a little bit more up there. Take this lump, so it's a bit lumpy, move it up to this side. as you can see, what I've done with the tray here is they all come with a film. Well, any decent tray should anyway. What you got to do is take the film away from the edges. I like to keep it on here just because obviously the bathroom is not finished yet. There's still much to do, so we want to cover and protect the tray right until the end of the job. But I'm going to pop that down in position. First of all, I'm going to go and grab a couple of spirit levels. It's not a particularly professional production, so I'm actually just using my phone. So I'm hoping my phone is on the is at an angle. I've just got it wedged up on the shelf there. Okay, I want to try and get this into position as best I can without sliding much of the adhesive away. That's pretty good. That's in a pretty good position there. But it's not fully in. You can see that there. We've got a lot of the adhesive at the back that's squidged up. So I'm just going to try and that's going to stop me pushing it in fully. And it's created a bit of suction. So there's no particularly nice way of doing it. Just make sure you've got a bucket of water up here so you can keep cleaning up, which I have. Take that out of there. And then we'll push that tray back into position. And there we go, that's in. You need to get this adhesive off now. If you don't get it off now, then you're really gonna struggle, and you're gonna damage the tray trying to get it off once it's dry. The other benefit of this adhesive that I've used here is it's basically a rubberized adhesive. Is that there's no grit in it. If you were to use a sand or cement, a based product to help secure this tray, then at the point where you go and try and clean it off, you're going to start scratching the tray. You don't want to do that. Obviously, it's a nice tray, and it's you put it in properly. If anything you put in properly is going to be a nightmare to get out. So all we're going to do now is check the levels. I don't know if you can see that. That one's pretty good there. I'm going to get a bigger level on it, but this will just give me an early indicator of how it's doing. Okay, this end's going to need to go down. This needs to go down this end. What's that big level, please, mate? So let's have a look from here to here. Okay, we need to go down on this end, certainly. So yes, it's quite clear. The tray needs to drop down right here. A little bit of movement back and forth. Much better. Much better. I'm still going to give it a little bit more. So that's good from there to there. I know that's fine. That's fine there. That could do with going up a little bit at the back. So we'll just take this a little bit more forward there. That's really helped that out. Level it up on this section. Oh, sorry. Just gonna make sure it's firmly down, which it is. Okay, so the tray's in. What it's also worth remembering is whilst you make sure the back edges are level, you always measure, put the level between each outer edge. Actually, the inside of the tray itself is always going to be running downhill because it's built that way. It's shallower here than it is here. Okay, now the other thing I'm going to do is remember earlier on I covered inside there. I'm just going to run my, I said that the adhesive would squidge out. I'm just going to run my finger around. I've even found some there where it's already squidged out. So get rid of that. Again, clean it up now because it'll be horrible to do so later. Get that all the way in. Just clean up my hands. And then that is nicely future-proofed. If I then take that off now, we'll need to have the rubber needs to go inside of here. But as you can see, that pulls up nicely into there. The rubber gasket would go. Let me turn the light on. Excuse me, let me try and do this again. Okay, it's not a great amount of light, so you'll have to excuse me, but hopefully you can see in there. Put my hand down there, you can see that I pull this up and that fits perfectly. Although on this outer edge, you've got to make sure that the gasket goes inside there. Hopefully you can see that tray's in, perfectly set. Got to wait for it to dry now. Then we just tile down, seal in all the edges that you can see here. Got to seal all these in to waterproof them. And then tile on top. Okay, I'm actually going to do this properly at a later date, but I guess if you're watching this video, you're going to want to know how to lay a shower tray, otherwise you wouldn't be watching it if you already knew. So I'd be very, very frustrated if you got to this part and didn't know how to fix the trap. So the trap has got to be in situ anyway. You've got to do that before when the floor is up, which means there's going to be several times when you're going to lay this tray on the floor and mark out the position, the final resting position of the shower waste. What I've done to help me move it here, I've put in what they call, I think, a magic flexi waste in between. I've solvent welded it on, and it's in between the two pipes of 1.25 inches. What I'll try and do is I'll try and source an image off the internet and pop it up on this video now. But that's allowing me, hopefully you can see that, to move this around. It's giving it enough leeway for me to get the adjustment. Right, so washer is going to go on inside there. It should all be, I don't know if you can see that, that's resting on there. Now here's the tricky part. The Myra flight trays I mentioned earlier are, I think, are better than this because you can just screw them down, but I'll show you. But most of them are like this in terms of securing them, so a little bit fiddly. But in essence, this is threaded, and you're going to thread this down into the trap. So what I find now, it's not the easiest thing in the world, but I find if I get my hand down onto it through there, pull the trap up, it's then in position, and it is fiddly, there's no two ways about it. And what I'm going to try and do is, whilst holding the trap up, you need to try and engage the thread. You'll know when you've got it, because it'll bite. You've got to make sure it's not cross-threaded though when you're doing this, and you've got to make sure that is in there. I can see it's in there. You've got to make sure that that washer is still engaged. If the washer's not engaged, then you're going to get leaks. I don't know if you can. Hopefully, I just move this. Now, let me try. It's quite a sunny day. Don't get in the way of the sun. So, what's going to happen is, if I continue to turn this, it's pulling that trap upwards as they marry up and compress together. Get this plastic out of the way. As I said, I'm sorry about the picture moving around as much as it does. As I said, I didn't bring my camera to work or anything. I'm just relying on my phone. Okay, that's about as tight as I can do it with my hand. That's not going to be enough. You're going to need to get that tighter than that. So you're going to need to get a tool in there. They've not supplied one. You're going to have to be inventive. Fortunately, I've got some big grips, which I can put on the inside of there and the outside of there, which will basically allow me to turn it a bit more. But I'm not putting this in as yet anyway. Different bits and pieces will come with it, which you then pop into place. There's a trap, there's a bowl that comes with it, which is part of the trap. But there we go. That's it. The tray is in situ, which means we can now tile. Once we've sealed all of these areas here, got to seal this up as well. Just sealed all the gaps there. Once this is all sealed, the tile is going to go on to here, because what we want the water to do is we want the water to run down the tile onto the tray and down into the hole. You never want this pressed up to the tile. You always want this recessed from the tile. Otherwise you're going to get leaks. Also, avoid using plasterboard. There's many different names for this stuff. This one's called Jacko board, Weddy board's another one. The correct stuff is completely water resistant. So hopefully I can show you that. That's the shower area. By the time we're finished, we'll have a lovely shower, a level shower. There you go, just finally probably a slightly better angle for looking at it now. Just a general overview of the room. We're getting close. We're getting close to the finish. Just got to replace that. Got a wall hung basin going in here, wall hung unit. We've already braced the wall inside. Obviously already the preparation's already done for the shower. It's just a standard 150 shower bracket. They come off. Shower slots on there. Anyway, that's it. Thank you very much for watching. Please do subscribe to the channel, and if you've got any questions, you'd like me to do any follow-up videos on anything, please do let me know.